rowing technique can look deceptively simple. I think people can look at rowing and think, I've done that. You've done it on the Serpentine or wherever else you've been in a paddle boat, and what could be more complicated than that?
Put in and drive through. That's one single unit, and I've been doing that for a decade and trying to make that as efficient as possible to make a boat move as fast as possible.
The simple truth is, I've been rowing for over 40 years and I haven't cracked technique yet. If you try too hard, then muscles are going to tense up, which shouldn't tense up. Your length of stroke is going to shorten and you will go less fast. So there is a kind of a looseness and fluidity, a bit like a golf stroke. And remember, you're in a rowing boat, you're moving with somebody else, so you have to move together and learn how to move. They have to learn with you, and you have to learn with them. And you have to be loose to feel their movement, and they have to be loose. And so that means your bodies have to move in synchronicity.
And one of the curious things about rowing is that in some senses there is no room for individuality. There's no room for a sudden flair. I don't know, if one of the athletes in a boat suddenly decides to row twice as fast as any of the other 7, that would be ridiculous because you'd throw out the rhythm entirely. There's a certain sort of sense of automation within a rowing crew. Every athlete has got to be doing exactly the same thing at exactly the same time.
Even now, there are lots of different ways. You can see different techniques in every nation. The American 8 won the Olympic, still got the world record in Athens in 2004. They were smack on the front end. And you wouldn't find any British people rowing like that now. The Canadians in the Beijing Olympics who beat Britain to the gold medal, they had this very long lean back. You won't find anyone in Britain doing that. What you do find is a kind of generally accepted that this is how the boat moves. And in a centralised system like British Rowing now is at Caversham, where everybody comes in, you have got this notion of this is how you row.
We have a technique which we call a British rowing technique, which has certain fundamentals to it. Now, each rower has their own signature, if you like, and we put a lot of science on the boats to try to make sure in the end that what we call their stroke profile, which is how they go from putting the blades in the water to taking it out at the end and then recover, that's actually as close as possible. Your ideal is each rower has a similar profile. So that's what we're trying to, or the coaches are trying to engender when they're on the water and through the season, so that actually they're compatible in the boat. With the exception of the singles in rowing, you depend upon somebody else to go with you, whether it's 3 other people or 7 other people. And the closer technically that you row, the more likely is the boat's going to go faster.
If you want to do it well, you've got to decomplicate it, and it is a real skill, which is why the rowers are so motivated to acquire it.